So here's another 9.1 first iteration game, another one in the Object 430, this time on the new map, Kharkov. This is an absolute medium driver's dream. It is probably my favourite map in the game already, which didn't take long at all. You'll see why throughout the course of this match, and in fact in any other video of this map, because it's too big to explore in one match. I was playing a match on it, and actually one of the pubbies from the Russian server said this is a map for 60 people, which I think is a pretty accurate statement. It's a really nice looking map as well. I start out by heading up to the northwest corner. It's very flat and open out here, but there is actually quite a decent amount of cover in the form of buildings. A lot of these are destructible. The larger two-story buildings aren't. So this is sort of really fast flanking ground. As you can see, it runs all the way from one cap to the other. Now, from playing on a test server, this seems to be where the action happens first. The city is usually a little slower to join in the fight. Just taking advantage of this 183's short attention span. He's not quite sure who to look at, and so I decide to just put shells into him when he's not looking at me. And he's nearly done. You can see already some of the enemy team have decided to claim the central plaza in the name of themselves. It's actually an interesting piece of terrain. If any of you have seen photos of the actual city, you'll know what that plaza is. It's a big round one with all the really tall buildings around it. I can't remember the name of it, but it's been faithfully recreated in World of Tanks, with a lot of shell craters and broken military equipment. Now, while I'm just sort of cruising around up here shooting at things, a couple of things I might note here. In F4, there's a little like a garage or something, or an underpass through one of the apartments which is collapsed at one end, and it's just big enough to fit a tier 10 medium in it, and nothing else. Oh yes, and they changed the explosion effects for dead tanks. I think I kind of overdid it. Now every kill looks like an ammo rack. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. You can actually hide a medium in there. You will get proxy spotted as they come around the corner, but you can't actually be shot from anywhere but directly in front, so it's a good ambush position. There's also a number of underpasses all over the map. I think there's one there. There's one there. Basically every block of apartments has an underpass that a medium can squeeze through. So you can easily get from one street to the next without actually being seen, as you'll see here in a second. So right now I'm in this plaza dealing with the T-57, or trying to. Oh, and look at this. Now I'm in the next street over behind this leopard who has no clue. I dive to the left to get away from the Waffenträger's line of fire. I don't want to be trapped in front of a pair of those. And driving with 302nd ping has its challenges, like stopping. These streets are really nicely done. The apartment buildings are quite faithful as well. But when I say this is a medium driver's dream, this is what I mean. You can just shuttle around the map so fast in a medium tank because you can fit through all these gaps and underpasses, and heavy tanks and TDs can't. And it's such a large map, so there's a lot of ground to cover, and mediums are the ones with the speed to do it. So here we go, along the main ring road and to the central plaza. Now, I actually noticed in game that when you're accidental shot into a bat's track there, when you're under these skyways, it actually causes the sounds to echo, which is a neat little effect. The sounds in World of Tanks, or the sound engine in World of Tanks, is more capable than you would give it credit for. It's just that Wargaming haven't really found a way to utilise it yet, apparently. So this 140 is just going to be an arsehole. He's playing hard to get, and he has a little crater there, but eventually our Waffenträger does get him. Check this out. And yes, each of those craters is large enough to hide a tank in. If you had a T-30 there, it would be invincible, except to Artie. This map seems like Ruinberg and Himmelsdorf had an illegitimate child. There's enough open space for mediums to really get a move on and for Artie to actually be useful, but there's still a lot of urbanized space. It's just so well done. As you can see, there's passages on the left and right sides of this street. Like I said, I think every apartment block has an underpass through it that a medium will fit through and a light tank will fit through. And with that, that's the end of the match. So, I've got to say it, somebody at Wargaming has actually figured out how to design a map, because this one is quite nice. First action is usually up in this corner, simply because it's so open and it's the most direct, well, not the most direct, but the quickest route between the two caps. This road is the most direct, but it's covered by piles of debris, and it's obviously a road, so it's a choke point. These two main roads down here don't seem to come in handy very much unless you have a lot of tanks bottled up in the center. Say if these guys go whoop straight through into the middle and shoot up this street, it could be useful. But most of the action seems to take part in the northwest and center areas of the map, which is just absolutely awesomely made. There's so many shortcuts and pieces of cover, and it's just a lot of fun to play. If you've seen some of the other videos up, I know I watched Anfield's one. A lot of other medium drivers have come to the same conclusion. This is going to be an excellent map to play. So hopefully it'll make it into 9.1 without too many changes, and we'll stay with us for quite a while. I also suspect I know what they're going to do with Encounter. I think the cap's going to go in there. Have like maybe the spawns where the caps are now, throw the cap in there. That could be interesting, but we'll have to wait and see on that one.